The date is the 21st of July 2013, and THQ is dead. That's right, it's over. Not even the THQ was dead thingy when it really wasn't, but now it actually is. Sad, but let's be honest, they couldn't have saved themselves. This had a long time coming. And so now we have the results of the important thing, which is who gets sold where. First up, Relic Software, Relic Entertainment or whatever, the makers of Homeworld IP, Dawn of War, and Company of Heroes. I consider them the most valuable company on the list of THQ's not shut down companies. Relic was bought by Sega. Now that is a surprise. That surprised me, because I swore EA was going to get Relic because it seemed like a perfect fit for EA. But no, EA never even bid for it. The only two which you know of is that Sega bid for it, and so did ZeniMax, who own Bethesda. And I'm very glad ZeniMax didn't get it, because I do not like Bethesda as a publisher. Bethesda as a publisher are terrible. But I have nothing against Sega. Some people do, especially since this whole Total Biscuit thing and whatnot. But I've got nothing against Sega. I'm perfectly happy with Sega. But what confuses me is Sega is themselves not exactly in the most richest company in the world. So for them to drop money into this, because they paid the most amount of money than anybody. They spent 26 million to get Relic, and they've already got a strategy developer. They've got Creative Assembly in Britain, and if need be, they can just make Sega Studios Australia back into a strategy developer, because they were Creative Assembly Australia. They made Medieval too, but no, Relic. I think Relic, Sega was more interested in their IPs. Particularly what we know of is they have Company of Heroes, which is very good because I want to see that live. Company of Heroes 2 looks very promising. And before the end, the only THQ game I was interested in. And they also got the Dawn of War franchise, which means Sega now has the strategy rights to Warhammer 40k and Warhammer Classic. They don't own fully Warhammer 40k, and they don't own fully Warhammer, just a strategy from what we know. Because EA still has part of Warhammer, with Warhammer Online, Age of Reckoning, and Warhammer Online Wrath of Heroes. So I think Relic could have a good home. Okay, so Volition Software, company I don't really care about anymore after what they did to Red Faction. Saints Row is never interested in me. Volition was bought by Koch Media. Koch Media is basically Deep Silver. Deep Silver have a terrible reputation for making shit upon shit upon shit. Could be so. Saints Row is kind of. I think Saints Row fits in with Deep Silver. I think Deep Silver's kind of games are, like Dead Island and all that. So I think Saints Row fits in. Red Faction, we don't know at the moment if Red Faction has been taken along with Volition. We don't know yet, because THQ kind of killed off Red Faction, but Red Faction is still owned by THQ, but we don't know yet that it went to Koch Media. I don't think it did. So I don't think Volition is going to have a particularly happy future. Evolve IP. So Evolve is an IP which has been made by Turtle Games, which they used to be. Turtle Games used to be owned by Valve. Turtle Games made Left 4 Dead. But Turtle was never bought up by THQ, but Turtle was making a game for THQ called Evolve, and Take-Two has bought that for 11 million. And whoa, we don't know much about Evolve, but I don't know if it's worth 11 million. Take-Two, I don't think I've ever liked any of Take-Two's games. I'm not really big into Rockstar. I fucking hate what they did to Team Bondi. Team Bondi were the makers of L.A. Noire, and Rockstar took all the credit. So yeah, fuck them. So I don't know anything about Valve, can't comment. The Metro series has been bought by Koch Media for 5.8 million. The first Metro was very good. Last Light has potential. I guess it makes sense because Koch Media is a European publisher and Metro is made by a Ukrainian company, which is in Europe. So, obviously. So, Metro, I think Metro could fit under Koch Media, possibly. Maybe. I thought Metro would have been the one by Sega, honestly, but who knows. The South Park game, I've never particularly cared about, but everybody's hyped it up, has been got by Ubisoft for 3.2 million. However, it doesn't change the fact it's still made by Obsidian. I love Obsidian, but they just do a bunch of shit. So nothing much going on there. Possibly the most interesting is THQ Montreal, which is the largest of the studios, has been bought by Ubisoft for 2.5 million. Not that much at all. So Ubisoft already has its largest development studio in Montreal. They make Assassin's Creed, Far Cry. So Ubisoft is going to have possibly the largest presence of any company in Canada. And the Homefront franchise, which means nothing, has been bought over by Crytek for a whopping 500,000. Crytek, of course, is making the sequel to Homefront, which is a very disappointing game. I think Crytek's going to make a sequel, and that's about it. Vigil Software, and the Darksiders series has been bought by no one. No one wants it. Darksiders 2 did not make its money back, and Vigil fucked up bad with Warhammer 40k MMO. So Vigil's going nowhere, it seems. I would have thought Activision might be interested in it, because that kind of tackiness is something Activision's interested in. But apparently Platinum Games might be interested in buying Vigil. But Platinum Games isn't exactly swimming in money, and so I don't know about that. They might give a Darksiders franchise, that will not surprise me, but Vigil, don't know. Possibly dead. WWE, fucking wrestling thing. It's rumored THQ. No, that Take-Two is going to buy it, which doesn't mean anything to me really, because UFC was bought over by EA before the end. So now the question is, what of other things? Like THQ still has other franchises. Red Faction, that fucking AMX thing, The Blob, Homeworld. You know, they still have a lot of franchises, so we don't know if anybody's going to get those. We don't know if it is going to simply turn to dust. We have no idea what's going to happen to those. And so I'm guessing all the old studios which THQ shut down, including Heavy Iron, Outrage Games, Blue Tongue, very sad, I miss Blue Tongue, and Chaos, I'm guessing they're just going to go nowhere. So that's it, that's the end of THQ. It's profound to think, isn't it? You know, THQ it's gone. It's dead. No more. But I guess THQ has run out of touch. They put their money into poor things, and I don't know, gaming is changing recently quite a bit, and THQ just had no place in this world, it seemed. But their properties might live on still. So I feel sorry for anybody who loses their job through this, and we can only hope that these new companies are going to have much greater potential under their new owners. But possibly I think Relic is the only one who's truly safe. Thank you for watching.